Coffee on the table, sunlight through the blinds. Nobody in a hurry, we got a little time. Old records in the background, shoes beside the door. Laughing at the weather like we've done before. Windows open slowly, cool air coming in. It's a slow morning light, everything feels alright. No heavy thoughts today, just music and daylight. Taking our time, watching the city move. Nothing to figure out, nothing left to prove. Take it easy, let the morning roll. No destination, just a little soul. Coffee getting colder, your sweater on the chair. Tiny little moments floating through the air. Cars across the avenue, clouds above the trains. People chasing somewhere we can stay the same. Curtains moving softly, sunlight on the floor. It's a slow morning light, everything feels alright. Leave the plans behind, we don't need them tonight. Staying right here, listening to the rain. Maybe nothing changes, maybe that's okay. Phone still ringing somewhere, but we don't really care. Sunlight dancing on the wall, nothing complicated at all. It's a slow morning light, soft and golden bright. One more quiet morning before the world gets loud. Take another sip, turn the music higher. Little peaceful moments are all that we require. Coffee getting colder, morning moving slow. Somewhere out the window, the whole world starts to glow. Empty cups beside the sink, yesterday still on the stove. Sunlight stretching through the room, like it's got nowhere to go. You're still wrapped up in blankets, half asleep and smiling slow. Radio playing softly, some old song we used to know. Nothing really waiting, nothing we have to chase. Little things we leave behind, notes inside the kitchen light. Dusty books and Polaroids, sleeping there beside the night. We don't need a perfect day, we don't need a reason why. Sometimes all we really have are little things we leave behind. Take your time now, morning is still alive. Coffee on the counter, sun coming through the blinds. Neighbors walking tiny dogs, traffic coming down the street. Someone laughing from a window, life repeating quietly. You pull your chair in closer, rest your head against my arm. For a second everything feels unusually calm. No dramatic movie scenes, just ordinary life. Little things we leave behind, quiet words and sleepy eyes, messy hair and faded shirts, lazy Sundays passing by. Oh, we don't need to say too much, we don't have to make it shine. Sometimes all we really keep are little things we leave behind. Maybe years from now we won't remember every song, but mornings like this somehow stay with us for far too long. Little things we leave behind, floating softly through our lives, tiny moments no one sees, turning into favorite nights. Hold the feeling for a while, let the whole day wait outside. Maybe love is nothing more than little things we leave behind. The coffee's getting colder, the city's getting loud, but this little corner here still feels far from now. The train doors opening slowly, morning pouring through the glass. Someone reading yesterday's news, like the world still moves that fast. I've been walking with no purpose, down the same familiar streets, watching shadows from the buildings dance around my tired feet. Nothing really calling me, so I keep moving slow, passing by the morning, watching strangers come and go. Everybody's chasing something I don't really need to know. Maybe life feels better when you let the small things show, like sunlight on the pavement, passing by the morning. Coffee in my left hand, music in my ears, tiny pieces of a life that somehow brought me here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Buses breathing at the corners, bikes rushing through the lanes, storefront signs still half asleep after early morning rain. There's a woman feeding pigeons near the park across the square, and for just a couple seconds everything feels lighter there. No perfect destination, no reason to pretend. Passing by the morning while the city starts to wake, little conversations floating softly through the day. Maybe all this movement is just people finding space, trying to hold on to something before it slips away. No fireworks above us, no movie ending scene, just a quiet kind of happiness most people never see. Passing by the morning, breathing in the colder air, every little second feels unusually clear. Maybe this is all I wanted, maybe this is enough, just another day beginning, slowly waking up. Shoes against the sidewalk, sunlight through the trees. Somewhere in the distance, the city starts to breathe. Curtains moving in the breeze, plants leaning toward the light, dust floating above the table. In the quiet of the morning time, the kettle sings softly. From somewhere down the hall, you draw in little circles on the coffee cup you hold. Nothing loud, nothing urgent here. Windows open wide, let the whole world pass us by. We don't need to follow every sound outside. Leave the TV silent, leave the phone behind. For a little while, keep the windows open wide. Slow breathing, sunlight on the floor. Tiny peaceful moments make me want less more. Neighbors watering flowers, someone sweeping off their stairs. A bicycle bell ringing, somewhere fading through the air. You lean against the doorway, hair falling from your tie. And for a second everything feels easy in my mind. Maybe this is happiness, small enough to miss. Windows open wide, clouds drifting through the sky. Nothing really matters for this little slice of time. The city keeps on moving, but we can stay inside, holding on to mornings with the windows open wide. We spend so much time running, trying to keep up, but maybe life feels better when it's slow enough to touch. Windows open wide, morning glowing soft and white. Every little shadow feels beautiful in light. No perfect kind of living, no secret left to find. Just another quiet day with the windows open wide. The coffee's almost empty. The sunlight changed its shape. And somewhere in the distance, another day awaits. Yeah. Half past Sunday morning, toast burning on the stove. You're dancing in the kitchen to a song nobody knows. Open windows laughing, neighbors passing by. Someone's dog keeps barking at the pigeons in the sky. Nothing on the schedule, nothing really planned. Half past Sunday, running slow again. Coffee cups and tangled sheets, music from the apartment next. No fancy destination, no reason to rush. Just a little sunlight and a little bit of us. Take your shoes off, leave the whole week there. Morning feels much lighter when there's no place to be. You steal the last strawberry right before I can, then blame it on the sunshine, like that somehow makes sense. Tiny little moments turning into gold. Funny how the smallest things are the ones we hold. No dramatic storylines, just ordinary days. Half past Sunday, everything feels warm. Old shirts and lazy eyes, sheltered from the noise outside. Maybe this is happiness, simple and enough. A quiet kind of living, built from tiny stuff. One day we'll probably miss this more than we could know. These messy little mornings and nowhere else to go. last Sunday. Sunlight on the floor, the radio's still playing like it did 100 times before. No perfect kind of future, no need to figure out, just another slow day we can laugh about. The dishes stay unwashed, the coffee's almost gone, and somehow that just feels exactly right this morning. Engine humming quietly, hands wrapped around the wheel. Sunlight sliding on the dashboard, everything starts to feel real. Windows halfway open, cold air in my hair. City fading in the mirror like it was never there. Every street is waking up, every light turns green. Green lights ahead, no reason turning back, leaving little worries somewhere behind the tracks. Fresh air, open roads, music floating through my head. Maybe life gets better with green lights ahead. We don't gotta hurry, we don't gotta know where this road is leading, long as we keep going slow. Going slow. Yeah. Coffee cups beside us, receipts across the seat, laughing at the wrong directions, missing random streets. Cloud shadows on the highway, billboards passing by. There's a freedom in the movement that money couldn't buy. No perfect destination, still feels good to leave. Green lights ahead, morning painted gold. Tiny conversations, never getting old. Hands out through the window, songs we used to play. Everything feels lighter, driving through the day. Maybe we spend too much time trying to stand still, when the best kind of moments only happen while moving. Green lights ahead, sky turning bright and blue. Nothing really changed, but everything feels new. One more slow beginning, one more chance to breathe. Maybe that's enough for people like you and me. Like you and me. The city's far behind us, the highway stretches long, and somewhere in the distance, another favorite song. Maybe we stay here a little longer. Your cup's gone cold again, mine's still half full. Outside the buses keep moving like they always do. There's a playlist in the background neither of us chose, and somehow it fits perfectly with this kind of slow. Maybe we stay here a little longer, leave the whole day waiting outside. No big decisions, no perfect answers, just quiet moments passing us by. And honestly, that sounds pretty nice. Someone drops a spoon nearby, a barista laughs out loud. Rain collects along the windows, I shrug and look away. Some thoughts don't need explaining to still feel okay. Maybe we stay here until the light changes. Watch the city fade into softer shapes. Nothing really happens, still it feels important. Like these tiny mornings might be worth saving. We spend so much time trying to become something. Maybe being here already counts. Maybe we stay here a little longer. Coffee stains and tired eyes, sunlight on the table. No dramatic ending, no lesson to learn. Just another quiet day that somehow feels warm. The rain is slowing down now. The music's getting low, and neither one of us seems ready yet to go.
Do you want to sit outside? The window's better. Tiny cups and folded napkins. People talking over toast. Someone typing near the counter, like they're trying to outrun ghosts. There's a couple by the doorway, sharing one old magazine, and a kid beside the pastry case, pointing at everything. Funny how a place this small can make the world feel quiet. Table by the window, watching strangers pass, making up small stories as the morning drifts past. Steam rising from the coffee, rain drying on the street. Nothing really special, still it feels complete. Maybe that's enough sometimes. You keep tracing little circles on the label of your cup. I keep pretending not to notice, though I always do enough. The playlist keeps repeating, soft piano in the air, and sunlight hits the wooden floor like it belongs there. Table by the window, same seat every week, talking about nothing in the way good mornings speak. Cars moving through reflections, clouds hanging low and thin. Feels like time gets slower every time we walk in. Maybe we don't need big unforgettable nights. Maybe life just happens in places built this quiet. Table by the window, afternoon coming soon. Still holding on to pieces of a lazy Sunday mood. One more cup between us, one more hour to waste. Somehow all my favorite days end up feeling this way. The chairs begin stacking, music turning low. Still neither one of us really wants to go.
Blue skies over 9th Street, everything feels kinda easy. Missed my train this morning, didn't even mind. Bought a coffee I can't afford and walked an extra mile. Some guy playing saxophone underneath the sign. Everybody looks less angry when the weather's nice. Ooh, 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 ooh. Blue skies over 9th Street, people smiling back at me. Nothing really changed at all, still it feels differently. Sidewalk conversations, bikes rolling past slowly. Funny how a little sunlight makes the whole day breathe. Maybe I needed this. There's paint peeling off the corner store, flowers by the stairs, someone writing lyrics badly like nobody cares. A girl in yellow headphones dancing at the light. Tiny scenes you'd never notice on an ordinary ride. Ooh, 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 ooh. Blue skies over 9th Street, clouds drifting lazily. All the little messy things look good in this kind of heat. Windows open everywhere, music in the breeze. The city sounds much softer when you're not in a hurry. No life-changing moments, no movie ending scene. Just one of those afternoons you wish you could keep. Blue skies over 9th Street, sunlight through the trees. Everybody heading somewhere, I'm exactly where I need. Maybe nothing lasts forever, maybe that's alright. Still I wanna stay inside this feeling for a while. Traffic lights changing, shadows getting long. Another easy afternoon, almost gone.
Soft radio static, rain against the window, phone face down beside me, curtains barely open wide. There's a voice inside the radio, fading in and out tonight. Half-read books upon the table, cold coffee near the sink. I keep losing track of mornings every time I stop to think. Some days move like water, some days barely move at all. Static on the radio, tiny echoes in my room. Clouds drifting past the buildings, late morning turning blue. Nothing really broken, nothing really new. Just me sitting quietly, listening for you. And the silence hums along. Cars slide softly through the rainfall, people running underneath. I wonder where they're headed and if they feel this way like me. The station keeps repeating songs I used to know. Funny how old melodies can make a room feel full. Static on the radio, filling up the space, like conversations hanging long after they fade. The world keeps spinning somewhere beyond these apartment walls. inside this quiet time barely moves at all. Maybe every lonely feeling doesn't need fixing. Maybe some emotions just asked to be heard. Static on the radio, rain slowing outside, sunlight breaking carefully through the silver sky. One more quiet morning, one more drifting thought. Somewhere in the static, something still feels warm. The signal disappears, the room goes soft again. Only rain and distant traffic talking through the end. Crosswalk counting down again, people moving way too fast. Coffee stains on paper cups, another Monday rushing past. Headphones playing old songs, tiny echoes in my mind. Sunlight bouncing off the windows, making everything feel bright. No big plans, no place I gotta be. Sidewalks and daydreams running next to me. Every little moment feels like a movie scene. Traffic lights changing while the whole world speaks. I'm just walking slowly through sidewalks and daydreams. Oh, the city keeps spinning, but I don't mind. Got a little freedom and a little time. Someone laughing at a bus stop, dogs pulling on their chains. Clouds reflected in the puddles after early morning rain. There's a rhythm in the chaos, like the street knows every line. Even strangers passing by me feel connected for a while. Maybe nothing special, maybe that's the point. Sidewalks and daydreams floating through the air, watching tiny stories disappear somewhere. Neon signs flickering, bicycles and trains. Everything feels lighter when I'm walking this way. No dramatic endings, no fireworks tonight. Just the sound of footsteps in the morning light. Sidewalks and daydreams turning into gold. Every passing second feels a little slow. Maybe all I needed was a quiet melody and a little space to breathe in. Inside the city streets, shoelaces and sunshine, music in my ears. Another ordinary morning somehow feels sincere. Soft room tone, dust floating through the window like tiny falling stars. The afternoon feels weightless inside these quiet walls. There's a sweater on the sofa, movie paused halfway, and sunlight fading slowly into shades of gray. Everything feels distant, but not in a lonely way. Rooms filled with echoes, pieces of old days, tiny conversations still hanging in the space. Nothing really disappears, it only changes shape, living softly somewhere inside rooms filled with echoes. Like smoke against the light. The upstairs neighbor's footsteps move gently overhead. Someone starts a shower, pipes humming through the vents. A plane cuts through the clouds, far beyond the glass, and suddenly the whole world feels enormous and small. Rooms filled with echoes, late afternoon and rain, old songs from another summer returning once again. Maybe memory lingers in curtains, floors, and frames, quietly surviving inside forgotten places. Sometimes I think healing feels less like moving on and more like learning how to carry things softly. Rooms filled with echoes, evening settling in, street lights turning golden against the window screen. Nothing lasts forever, still some feelings stay, floating through the silence long after we walk away. The daylight disappears, the room turns silver blue, only distant traffic now and the sound of the room.
Soft footsteps, cold morning there. Street lights flicker on the river while the city starts to wake. Someone stacking chairs outside the corner cafe by the train. I took the long way home again for reasons I can't explain. Maybe silence feels less heavy when your body's moving through it. Every window holds a story I'll never really know. The long way home, past the empty stores, past the tired taxis and apartment doors. The sky turning pale above the telephone lines. Everything feels honest at this time of night, or maybe early morning now. There's a man outside the bakery, smoking quietly alone, and a girl in headphones laughing at something on her phone. Life keeps happening in fragments, tiny scenes without a name. Still somehow they stay with me long after they fade. The long way home, through the sleeping streets, hearing distant sirens mixed with passing beats. No just means noticing more how everybody's carrying something invisible. The long way home, morning breaking blue, first trains moving slowly, cutting through the view. Coffee shops reopening, lights against the rain, and me still wandering through the quiet again. Footsteps on the sidewalk, breathing in the cold, watching another morning quietly unfold.
You keep stirring melted ice long after the drink is gone. Outside somebody's walking dogs beneath the fading sun. The cafe's getting quieter, chairs scraping on the floor. We've both been here so many times, we don't ask for menus anymore. Funny how silence changes when you know someone well. Nothing much to say, still I like it here, listening to the small sounds disappear and reappear. Traffic through the window, neon starting to glow. Maybe not every moment needs somewhere to go. Maybe this is enough. You point out random strangers, make up little lives. The couple near the counter, the guy pretending he's alright. There's music in the background, too soft to understand, but somehow every broken word feels exactly where I am. Nothing much to say, still we let time pass, watching rainy reflections slide across the glass. No dramatic ending, no final scene tonight, just two people sitting quietly under cafe lights. Sometimes the best conversations are the ones that barely happen. Nothing much to say, still I stayed too long. The city getting blurry as evening moves along. One more cup between us, one more slow goodbye. Somehow the quiet moments always feel alive. Workers start cleaning, the lights turn halfway low. Still neither one of us really wants to go.
Soft tape noise, distant evening ambience. Found an old photo this morning, faded edges, blurry light. You were laughing at the camera, halfway out of frame that night. There was sand stuck on our sneakers, cheap wine on the hood, back when every tiny feeling seemed bigger than it should. Funny how memories return without asking first. Summer on repeat, playing in my head. Late drives and parking lots, words we never said. voices under old melodies. The apartment's cold this morning, rain tapping on the fire escape. Still somehow I smell the ocean from that weekend by the lake. Maybe we were younger, maybe time moves slow, maybe happiness is smaller than we used to know. Summer on repeat, golden hour glow, laughing in convenience stores with nowhere else to go. Oh, your jacket in the backseat, windows halfway down, tiny ordinary moments turn sacred looking back now. Oh, I used to think memories faded, but maybe they just soften, waiting for quiet mornings to come back again. Summer on repeat, still alive somewhere. An old playlist and faded shirts and humid midnight air. Maybe people leave, maybe seasons change, still some versions of our lives stay exactly the same. Tape noise fading slowly, evening turning blue. Another old memory passing softly through. Take the side streets, we got time. Missed the turn on purpose, didn't wanna head back yet. Sunlight bouncing off the mirrors, radio full of static breath. Someone skating past the crosswalk, laughing way too loud. And honestly, it sounds much better than the noise inside my head right now. Take the side streets, let the whole day drift. No destination, no checklist. Windows rolled down, music turned high. Everything feels lighter under the sky. Maybe getting lost isn't always bad. Tiny bookstore near the corner, flowers hanging by the sign. Bought a drink we didn't need, just to waste a little time. You keep making up fake stories about strangers passing by, and somehow every random moment feels good tonight. Take the side streets, forget the fastest way. Some afternoons are better when they slowly fade. Traffic moving somewhere we don't have to care. For a couple hours we got open air. Maybe freedom isn't big, maybe it's just this: a quiet day with nowhere urgent left to be. Take the side streets, sun getting low, city lights beginning to softly glow. No perfect kind of future, no secret left to find. Just one easy afternoon and a little peace of mind. The light turns green slowly, the song begins to end. Still neither one of us wants the night just yet. Golden hour traffic, windows down tonight. Sun melting on the buildings, orange painted on the cars. Everybody heading somewhere, under early evening stars. You got your feet up on the dashboard, hair blowing in the wind, singing every wrong lyric like it still makes perfect sense. Street lights waking one by one, the city starts to glow. Golden hour traffic riding through the lights, every little problem feels smaller tonight. Hands out the window, music turned high. We don't need a reason to keep driving by. Let the whole night stretch. Let the whole night stretch. Billboards shining through the highway, fast food signs and trains, people crowding every rooftop, trying to escape the day. You laugh at something random, I forget what it was, but somehow in that second everything felt enough. Golden hour traffic, neon in the rain, all these tiny moments running through my brain. Maybe life moves quickly, maybe that's alright, long as we keep finding nights like this. Sometimes no one really knows where they're supposed to go. Maybe that's why nights like this feel so beautiful. Golden hour traffic. Golden hour traffic. Sky fading to blue, another song repeating like it always knew. Windows open wide now, cool air through the seats, and the whole city shining under tired street lights. Tail lights in the distance, radio humming low, driving through the evening with nowhere left to go.
You're not drinking that anymore, are you? Your coffee went cold again while you talked about your week. Something about your landlord and your downstairs neighbor screaming. Outside the buses hissed, rain drying on the road. The cafe smelled like cinnamon in somebody's heavy coat. I could have stayed there all day, listening to nonsense conversations. Your coffee went cold again, mine was almost gone. The playlist started looping some old forgotten song. Nothing really happened, nothing really changed. Still somehow I left there feeling lighter than I came. Funny how that works sometimes. You kept stealing fries from my plate, pretending they were yours, pointing out random strangers, inventing fake divorces. The workers flipped the chairs nearby, like we should probably leave, but neither one of us moved much. We just laughed quietly. Your coffee went cold again, the sky turned evening blue, streetlights glowing on the windows like they always do. Tiny little moments nobody writes about, still they end up being the parts I think about. Maybe happiness isn't loud, maybe it sounds more like this. Half finished drinks and conversations with no direction. Your coffee went cold again. The city moved outside, cars reflecting through the glass like rivers made of light. One more slow conversation before the night begins. Somehow all my favorite days feel a little like this. The workers locked the front door, music almost gone. Still your untouched coffee sat there getting cold.
Night air through the curtains, soft room ambience. Left the windows open, now the whole room breathes. Sirens somewhere far away mixing with the TV. There's a jacket on the sofa, take-out boxes by the sink, and your handwriting on a receipt I forgot to throw away last week. Funny what survives in quiet apartments. Left the windows open, let the whole night in. Street lights on the ceiling, moving with the wind. Nothing feels dramatic, nothing needs repair. Still somehow this silence feels good to share, even when you're not here. Someone laughing in the hallway, footsteps on the stairs. A train rolling through downtown, low against the air. I should probably sleep soon, but the city sounds alive, and nights like this feel softer when I don't try too hard. Left the windows open, cool air on the floor. Old songs from the neighbors floating through the walls. Maybe every lonely thing doesn't have to hurt. Maybe some emotions just need a little room first. I spent years trying to silence every feeling. Now I just let them pass through like traffic after midnight. Left the windows open, morning coming slow. Sky beginning silver above the streets below. Coffee waiting in the kitchen, first birds to waking up. Another ordinary night turning into love. Curtains moving softly, the city humming low, and somewhere in the distance the first train starts to go.
Distant traffic, soft guitar. Streetlights stretching on the pavement after midnight rain. Someone smoking near the corner store, waiting out the train. Your voice still in my headphones, even though the call is ended. Funny how some conversations keep echoing after silence. The city never fully sleeps, it only quiets down. Not ready to go home yet, not ready for the night to end. There's something in these empty streets that makes me wanna stay again. Neon glowing on the windows, cool air moving through my chest. Maybe I'm just trying to hold on to this feeling a little longer, before tomorrow show starts again. A taxi passes slowly, yellow blurred in rain. Someone laughs across the avenue, then disappears again. There's comfort in the movement, in people passing through, like everybody's searching for something warm to hold on to. Not ready to go home yet, the sky's still deep and blue. Old songs drifting through the city like they're looking for you too. Nothing lasts forever, still some nights stay close, long after all the lights and conversations go. Maybe peace isn't a destination. Maybe it's just moments like this, standing still while the whole world keeps moving. Not ready to go home yet, morning almost here. First train starting somewhere, soft against my ears. One more quiet hour before the sunlight shows. Just me and the city, moving slowly through the dark. Street lights fading softly, birds begin to sing. Another night dissolving into morning.